Well, this November is the one-year anniversary of Canopy's groundbreaking certification program. The goal was to make Kentucky business better. And since the launch of the program, 29 companies have now been certified and 31 are enrolled for certification. Joining me now with more is CEO and founder of Canopy, Scott Columus, and CEO of Affirmed RX, Greg Baker. Scott and Greg, thank you so much for being on Great Day Live. Well, what a celebration, right? But you guys have been around, though, for several years already. For people that may not be familiar, kind of break down what you all do.
Yeah, sure. Well, first, the good news is we're at 30 now.
Wow.
We went from 29 to 30 here in the past week. So we have 30 Canopy certified companies in the last year. And really what Canopy is at its essence is we're trying to highlight and help businesses that are really thinking about their neighborhoods, their communities, our beautiful Kentucky landscape, how they treat people as they go about doing well in business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, profit isn't a dirty word, but definitely the idea of marrying profit with doing the right thing. So sort of living well in your space. And Canopy's really about the idea of identifying companies that are doing that and helping them get better at it.
And so what does that look like when you're doing good by your community with your business? What does that translate to what we see?
Yeah, so how does good show up in the work that you do? So that could be, one, how do you treat your employees? Mm-hmm. Are you fighting to pay them fair wages? Are you fighting to get them great benefits? Are you taking care of them? Are you operating in an ethical way? Are you being transparent about the way you look, all businesses are going to have problems. We're going to make mistakes, but owning that in a more enlightened way and saying, yeah, we made a mistake here, but here's what we're going to do about it. But also recognizing that in order for businesses to thrive, our neighborhoods have to do well. Yeah. Our communities have to do well.
Being a good neighbor means a lot, right?
And do something positive in those spaces. So whether it's engaging with a neighborhood community group, whether it's engaging with nonprofits, whether it's really thinking about how can I solve a tough problem. Imagine if we had 20 companies at the west end of Louisville that said, we really want to help with reducing violence.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be amazing, right?
Yeah,
and really embedding with those community groups.
It's not just going in and saying, we're going to make money.
That's correct.
Right? It's investing and giving back in a meaningful way. And then on the flip side of it, the businesses gain a lot of benefits too, right, by doing this?
That's correct. I mean, the way we built the platform, it's all online. It sort of teaches you, gives you a roadmap to really think about how can we get better? How can we really embed doing good into our business model? And not to mention the network that you're able to connect with great people like Greg Baker and other CEOs and just leaders. And honestly, there's a whole lot of enthusiasm around this with the younger generation. And I can say that now that I'm getting up there. And they really identify with this. Companies that have a mission, that are doing something beyond just trying to maximize profit, people want to work for those companies.
People have choices, and it's like, why should I go out into the workforce if it's not going to be for a quality, meaningful company?
That's correct.
Right? I can stay home.
That's it.
And set up my Etsy shop.
That's right.
Right? Seriously, or something like that. So, Greg, I mean, talk about kind of how you became involved and what you all have seen just with Affirmed RX.
Yeah, thank you. And Scott's been really a great mentor to us as we think about how to drive good business. And the basis of what we started our company to do was to fix drug affordability in America. We've talked for years about drugs being too expensive for people to afford, and because of that transparency aspect of companies really just focusing on profit, there's so many problems with drug affordability. So our mission really was to be fully transparent and do business in a way that actually drives good business. So we've always thought the more we can help society, the more value we can create. And I think to Scott's point, that focused on profit is so important if you're actually going to drive success in business, because we could go all the time to investors, shareholders, and say, hey, we're doing good, but people need a return on that. Yeah. And I think for years, businesses have always just focused on the profit at the detriment of the societal impacts. And we really wanted to flip that around. So as we've worked with Scott, there was just this great alignment on, we want to do good business to drive great profit. They want to do the same thing. But the other wonderful thing about the Canopy organization is it's not a spot in time where we can get certified. It's we can get certified, but then our year is up. Now I have to get recertified. And next year we have to get recertified. And so there's this ongoing learning process that we're continually going through to figure out how we can do better with the other organization companies that are part of Canopy.
So by being certified year after year and kind of going through this process, do you feel that it kind of just even elevates the types of employees that you attract?
Absolutely, because to Scott's point, I think there's so many people who don't just want a paycheck now.
Yeah.
They actually want to feel like they're showing up to work to improve something or bring some other value to their communities that they serve.
Yeah.
So for us to have that be deeply ingrained in the DNA of the organization and always be challenging ourselves to be Canopy certified year after year after year, I think it really drives great employees, great structure, and great culture.
Are you surprised by the success first year?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I knew it was
Yeah.
going to work.
Yeah.
No, we always want to say that.
Yeah.
You know, it's still growing.
There has to be a relief, though. It's like, oh my goodness,
is.
probably like bigger than your expectations of when you hear people. I mean, just hearing kind of your testimony, Greg, the value of it.
Yeah.
That like, okay, success, check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's something we're really working on is to continue to build that value for businesses and our communities. So, you know, that is a challenge for us. We want to make it worthwhile for companies to do this. And really, we do provide a lot of guidance when companies are going through the program.
Yeah,
Our
sure.
staff members engage with them. They work very closely with the businesses to help them implement things. So it's not just go in and fill out a form. It's a very dynamic process.
And you're there with them
100%.
throughout that process. Can anybody be certified or reach out or seek that certification, or do you have to like meet a couple of set
So
standards?
the biggest thing is you
first?
got to be a business in Kentucky. This
Yeah,
is
there you
about
go.
making Kentucky first in the good business movement. What
Right.
we're really trying to do is kick the West Coast butt at this. We want Kentucky to be known for these types of businesses. You don't have to go to Austin, Texas. You don't have to go to Portland, Oregon. That we've got it right here. And the truth is across this cool state that we live in, there's a whole lot of good-hearted business owners that want to take care of this beautiful
Yeah,
state.
definitely, and a lot of good happening kind of in corners of the state that you don't realize
Yep.
it's happening. A lot of good news.
Yep.
So, all right, great to meet you both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
so
you.
much. If you would like more information, just head on over to canopyky.org.